everybody. Today I am making my last fall wreath. I'm pretty sure it's my last. I would have already filmed my last, but then I found this mesh at Walmart. It's not the one they usually sell. This is by Mainstays, who is their like home decor line. I think they're the ones making the new yarn. It's a Walmart brand, and I don't know, it looks pretty, not the most exciting color. They just had fall colors. They had the 10.5 inch, and they had maybe like a 5 inch, but it wasn't like in a big display. It was just a like little end cap that wasn't even like properly placed on the shelf. So I don't know, but it has metallic in it. The weave is pretty open. I'm not very optimistic about the fraying, but when am I ever? I'm just going to square this up. And I'm going to cut it at like 19 inches, which... how much crap can I have in the way of this? Cut it at like 19 inches, and then let's see. Probably gonna end up doing. I kind of want to do like cruffles. I think that's what I'm gonna do because I have some smaller. It's these meshes that are gonna go on top of it because I know that this is not thick enough to do a wreath with just one roll, so let's see. I mean, yeah, it's what is it comparable to? It's a lot like that Family Dollar mesh that I used in one of the other wreaths. Let's see how I grow. Yeah, I think it's not great. I mean, I can see right through it, but we'll see. I'm always into giving something a try, and I think it was only like $4. It was pretty cheap. So I'm going to cut all those down and then come back and we can start putting together the wreath, which, you know, will be right now for you guys, but it'll be tomorrow morning for me because it's late and I'm sick and I want to go to bed. Okay, I have all my mesh cut. I was kind of fooling around with it while I was cutting it, and I'm okay with it. I'd buy it again. I'm like trying to form it. It's not cut straight, but I mean, if I cut it straight, would it even be a wreath that I made? So I have my Dollar Tree wreath frame, 18 pipe cleaners. Here's how they're laid out. This form was super wonky. Look how skinny it is right here. And then this broke, so I just when I do that, I either glue it and wrap it, or wrap it and glue it, or something. So each section has 3. There's 6 sections, so there's 18, 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside. And I am just going to do, I'm just going to do ruffles. Just fold that edge under a little bit, get it in here, all over the place. Oh, my hands are hurting today. And then I'm going to pair these ruffles with some little bundles I made of, this is Hobby Lobby. Let me see how wide it is. 5-inch mesh. I'm just going to put it together, make a little bow. This is a 4-inch piece of pipe cleaner. Wrap that around and tighten it. Wrap around and tighten it. And I have a bunch of these already made off to the side. And half of them have the brown on top, half of them have the orange on top, but like, I mean, this one has the brown on top, and then if I flip it over, all I have to do is bend this down and it's got the orange on top. So I guess I didn't have to go through the trouble of making 9 of each, but whatever. And then this is gonna go in here. Repeat that until we can't go anymore. Either due to exhaustion or we've used up all our materials. I just like to make sure that these ends are tucked in. Reduces the amount of fraying. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. My hands are not ready to do anything. Alright, since that was a brown on top, I'm going to put an orange on top next. I read in my comments that somebody, I meant to respond to her. I usually take like 2 days a week, like it's usually like Sunday and Thursday to respond to comments, because if you took the trouble to leave me a comment, I want to make sure I respond to it. But she said she puts the wreath together and then wood burns the edges afterwards, and I was like, what? If you have never cut Deco mesh with a wood burner, it is a pain. But I meant to add, because she said it, and I was like, wait, does she mean she puts it together and then burns the edges? Like just touches them up so they don't fray? Because I want to do that with my ribbons because I hate using the lighter. But I said that's ingenious. I need to message her back and see what she means exactly, and then maybe we'll give that a try. Brown on top, and you get the gist. It's like 7 o'clock now. I am waiting. Well, whenever I get done with this, I'm gonna go pick up my sister and we're going to Joann's because they sent me a coupon for 25% off, and the last time I was there, you know, they opened that new Joann's by me and I was like not super impressed, but I'm thinking now they'll probably have more fall stuff out. I mean, this is my last fall wreath, so I don't know what I need with fall stuff, but I might get a new ribbon, and hopefully they'll have a little bit of Christmas out. I think I'm gonna go to Michael's while I'm out there. If you're in Metairie, New Orleans, Metairie area, the new Joann's is where the old Gordon's was before they. I don't even know the circumstances of what happened to Gordon's. Apparently the owner retired. He wanted to retire and get rid of the stores. And the son didn't want to run the stores. So they went from this massive store to one that's probably the size of my house. Like it's, I mean, my house is pretty small. It's a little bitty store. Half of it's like tourist crap. The other half is framing, and a very small portion of that half is actually like craft supplies, whereas last time half the store was like floral and craft supplies, and there was a framing section, but now it's like just framing and here's some other stuff, which is very disappointing, because if there was a store that you wanted to go to like just look, like I never shopped there too much because they were expensive. They put up the most, like, I used to go in there and get like visibly upset because the trees, the Christmas trees, were so nice, and just these beautiful big trees. There were so many of them, probably 8 or 9, and like the store wasn't enormous, but it was big. But they were all, you know, like how I dream my Christmas trees look, or how I think my Christmas trees look, but they never really do. They just had so much stuff on them. They were so like beautifully coordinated. And aisles of ribbon and mesh and anything you could possibly want. Like Christmas is really the only time I went there. Mostly because they started putting Christmas out in like, you know, June. What a wonderful place, and now it's just, it's sad. But you know, people gotta do what they gotta do. But yeah, I'm going to go to Joann's and see what they got down there. Maybe go to Michael's, even though it was just there Saturday. At least that's the plan. My stomach is currently in revolt. It's very upset with me for eating breakfast, as it was all day yesterday. I was so sick yesterday. Oh my god. So I called my mom after she got home from work, and she's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I'm sick. I don't feel good." And she's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Everything." She said, "Well, what hurts?" I said, "Everything. Literally everything. My entire body just feels like it's shutting down." But it didn't yet. It's like it wasn't like any specific thing. I just, you know, those days when you just feel gross. And of course, my mom's like, "Well, take a shower." I was like, "It's not that kind of gross. Like, I'm not actually gross. I just feel like bleh." Okay, I love when everything comes falling down at once. To take a shower, I drank like 4 bottles of Powerade. Try to go to sleep somewhat early. Because I told my mom last night, I was like, all I want to do tomorrow is get out of the house, because it is beautiful outside. It's like 60-something degrees. I want to get out of the house. I want to go buy something. I want to go shopping. I want to see what's new. I'm having video block right now, which I guess it's not that big of a deal because my videos through October are done. It's October 2nd, and I have videos. They're all done. They're all uploaded. They're all ready to go. I get nervous because I'm like running. I feel like I'm running out of ideas, but I know I'm not. I'm just like running out of stuff. And part of that is because I haven't ordered from Craft Outlet in months. I'm gonna go see what they have at Joann's, and you know, I have if the stuff's on sale and I have a 25% off coupon, maybe I can actually buy some stuff there. I just hope they have some Christmas mesh. I keep saying like Christmas mesh. Christmas something. I just want more Christmas. I want to work on my tree this week. Maybe. I was like, you know what? If I can just get like the corner where my tree goes cleaned up, because right now it still has, it's like stacked up with wreaths. It's stacked up with stuff from last Christmas. If I can just get that corner clean, like I'll feel better. And then I was like, well, I need some motivation to clean it. So yesterday, which I'm not making a video on this, so I guess it doesn't matter if it's anything. Yesterday I made new curtains for the little corner in my kitchen where my tree goes, and I made curtains that match my Christmas tree instead of the boring taupe ones I have up, you know, taupey, beigey, brown. You know, I made them to coordinate with the tree, and then I hung them up and I stood back and I was like, okay, this is like next level craziness right here. And they look super bad, but I'm pretty sure that's just because they are like red and white polka dot curtains in my kitchen for no apparent reason. I'm gonna look for some trim or something today because they're a little plain. They're just if you want to know how to make quick curtains, I bought 2 1-yard cuts of pre-cut fabric. Hem the sides and the bottom, and then turn the top down 6 inches, like I mark 6 inches and fold them over and sewed it so it's a 3-inch sleeve at the top, and just slid them on there. I was like, oh, this is gonna take all day, and I was done within 20 minutes because I was watching TV. I was watching Hulu, and I started an episode of whatever I was watching, and I was finished both curtains before it was over, and I was like, all right. So I'm kind of like that's done, and it's giving me a little bit of like, oh, I think I just want to get the tree up now because the curtains look so terrible. Because I have like no color in my entire house. And then red and white polka dot curtains. This for the orange on top, so we need brown. How are you guys doing? Tell me in the comments down below how you're feeling about Christmas this year, because I don't think it's just me. I think I'm just like, after everything that's happened this year, Christmas is so close to the season finale of 2020, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna kill us all off. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just like, I'm so tired of everything. But I think like once the election's over, I feel like I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, the next day everything's gonna be back to normal. I want it to be over. Like I'm so disgusted by politics, or the lack thereof. Is there an empty pipe cleaner way over here? Okay. Sometimes I think, like when our country was founded, when people came here to avoid religious prosecution, and then when we gained our independence, like if those people, if like our founding fathers, if the people who, you know, left their entire lives for freedom, the people who fought and died so we can have the things we have today, if they saw the state of our country, of just the division, not even like along party lines, just in general, like just the, like this whole feeling of despair, I'd be like, I fought for this, like I died for this. I want it to be done. Because like I avoid any kind of news like the plague. Like I'm just like, if something happens, either Michelle or my mom will be like, hey, there's a hurricane out there, you should probably prepare for that. Like I just, when I was having such a hard time at the beginning of the whole virus thing, like I was obsessively reading everything, and then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I can't casually consume this, like I am obsessive about it, so it needs to stop, and I just stepped away. I got off of Facebook. The only time I see the news is when I go to get my mail, and I don't pay any attention to it. Like, you know, I'll see the headlines like, oh, hell on earth breaks loose, and I'm like, nope, I don't care. I think I asked Santa for a much bigger table for Christmas. You know what I would like to do, which I don't know how it would work. I'd like to just get a piece of plywood or MDF or something and attach it to this tabletop, so where it was like 2 feet bigger on each side. I don't really need it any deeper because I can't reach anything over there anyway. This used to be my kitchen table, but I don't eat. You know, I don't sit down at the kitchen table and eat, and I never have anybody over here except for my mom. Proud of my mom. She's getting her a little promotion at work. Keep trying to. She's like, but I don't know about having to do this. She found out yesterday that in the new rule that they've created at Walmart, that if there are people who are not, because she says all the time, you know, like somebody will say like, why isn't this done? And she'll be like, well, you have people over there who are not doing their job. Like they're literally here waiting 2 weeks to get their paycheck. They're just like walking around doing nothing. So I'm about to throw these ribbons across the room. One of the managers over there was like, well, you know, once you're a part of the management, whatever, he's like, it's your job to get rid of those people. And she was like, what? Like my mom. I was like, you're gonna fire somebody? And she's like, I will. And I was like, no, you won't. I was like, you think you will, but then you'll be like, oh. Yeah, I think she was like a little nervous about that, just because who wants to be the person that fires somebody? I mean, I'd be excellent at that. How do I keep, like, I'm so behind, like, I keep... I'm so behind on all this. But I think it, like, the promotion, like, not that it was, because I don't believe in, like, divine intervention or anything, but, you know, Carl's gone. She's had a substantial change in the amount of income coming into her house. And then this opportunity comes along that would, oh my god, that would give her basically the amount of money she needs to stay in the house. Extra, you know? It's just like, you gotta do it. And the thing is, like, it's a raise and it's a promotion, but she works so hard at her job that she deserves that extra money. Simply because she manages 2 departments, sometimes 3. Like, if somebody says, hey, we're going to give you some more money, and you're basically going to be doing everything you're doing now, you're just going to be getting paid for it, I'd be like, yep, I'll take it. Oh my god. Alright, if this abruptly ends, it's because my camera died. I forgot to plug my battery in, and she is not having it. And it's 7:45. And by the time I'm done with this, I'll be able to call my sister, tell her to get dressed, make her go to Metairie with me. Maybe we'll go to one of the fancy grocery stores. There's a Fresh Market right there. There's a Trader Joe's down the street, which last time I went to Metairie, I tried to go to Trader Joe's. It was like 15 minutes before they opened, and there were people like wrapped around the building waiting to get in. I said, okay. I'm not waiting in line to get into Trader Joe's. Especially because I was going there to see if they had that, I think it's just called holiday spread. Oh my god. Has anybody ever had that? It is fantastic. It's so good. It's just like a spicy jam kind of thing. Like you put it on toast or biscuits or something, or you just, you know, eat it with a spoon, put it on top of ice cream, whatever. So good. Which I would try to go see if they have it today, but I have stopped eating sugar again. And I want to buy that. I should get one for my mom. She liked that last year. Trader Joe's got good stuff. I don't think I do regular grocery shopping there, but like the specialty stuff they have is really good. Come on, camera, hold out. Adjusted my white balance on my camera because I was editing videos and I was like, why are these videos so dark and green? And I was having to do so much color correction. And then I was like, wait, I changed the white balance because I thought it would help. And I think it just made things worse, so I changed it again. And this looks better in the monitor, but there's no telling what it's going to look like once it's on the computer. I have to throw up right now. I think that's always the dream, right? get me some inspiration, and I'll come back and I'm gonna film stuff for November. Alright, is that everything? So yeah, that is, let me flip it over and make sure. I don't know why these are like, it's like the spacing is weird. I think I have another ruffle, but do I have another, I don't have another little bundle to put in the middle, but I guess I don't need one. So this is a 10-inch, pull out a little bit, it's a 10-inch roll from Walmart, and then 2 5-inch rolls from Hobby Lobby. There's the garbage, so I'm sure the dog will start freaking out, but I will be back and we will figure out what I'm doing with this, because I have no idea. No signs anymore. I have barely any ribbon, so maybe I'll get some ribbon at Joann's, so it'll make something pretty. But yeah, I like the way that came out. I like the, like these are like mini poofs with the ruffles. I like that. Alright guys, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay everybody, I am back from my adventure out of town. Which wasn't really an adventure, it was more like an ordeal. I bought this ribbon at Joann's that was on, I think it was 70% off, and then I had 25% off on top of that. It's just a orange. This is a ribbon from Hobby Lobby. These are 6 12-inch tails. I'm just going to do them around the outside. I'm going to use both of these in my bow. Some of this and some of this, because I am running very low on fall ribbon, which is fine because after today I get to finally pack up all my fall stuff and I'm very happy. I'm also extremely out of breath. So excuse me, I am fine. I am just, I have a really bad tension headache that I just can't seem to get a handle on. This is just a burlap from Dollar General, I think. I'm just gonna do a 3-loop bow. That's 6 inches. Or maybe, yes, let's just do 6. So I left this morning after I finished my wreath base and went and picked up my sister, and we went to Fresh Market because Joann's wasn't open yet, and then Joann's, and then Michael's, no, and then Big Lots, and then Michael's, and then Spirit Halloween, and then to another grocery store so I could get some sushi for lunch, and bought like nothing because even when I have money I'm just like, ugh, so expensive. I got some ribbon. I saw an ornament at Joann's that was ridiculously overpriced, so when I was at Michael's I bought the stuff to make the ornament, which I think ended up coming in at like $2, and the ornament at Joann's was $15, so look forward to that coming up. It was this felt, you know, I have a peppermint theme this year for my tree, and it was a felt ornament made out of, you know, with little peppermints. And I looked at it and I was like, that is so cute. I was like, if I buy anything, it's probably gonna be this. And then I looked at it and I was like, $15? A styrofoam ball covered in felt. And I'm doing these at 6 inches too. I was looking at Joann's for some fat quarters. They used to have The one that they closed down had like this whole wall of fat quarters, like anything you can imagine. This one has like one rack. But I guess people are buying more pre-cuts now, like jelly rolls and stuff. But I was like, I need like a variety of fabric for something I'm working on. And I didn't want to go and pick up 15 bolts of fabric and be like, I need a 1/4 yard of each of these. There's an old guy in there. His wife was getting fabric cut. And he's like, I need to talk to somebody about the Glow Forge because it's one of those Joann's at the creative centers. This is not even plugged in. Perfect. With the creative center where you can rent the Glow Forge, and I think it's the Cricut, you can rent that by the hour. And he asked somebody where the exhaust fan was. Because, you know, it's a laser, it produces smoke and fumes, and they have to be vented appropriately. And, you know, it's in the middle of the store, so it's not like a vent. And he's like, where's the vent for the Glow Forge? And the employee was like, I don't know. I'm cutting fabric over here. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, I need to speak to somebody. So a manager comes over. She's like, can I help you, sir? He's like, where's this venting into? Y'all just venting this back into the store? She's like, no, sir. We have a special system with Glowforge that has an internalized air filter. You know, they must make specifically for, I don't know if it's just for Joann's or if it's just for when they're used like in public spaces where you can't have a vent going out the window or an exhaust going somewhere. And he was like, oh. And my sister was like, he was really worried about that. I was like, no, he wasn't. He's just trying to start something. He's a Chad. But yeah, I got some ribbon. They had all their fall floral stuff on sale for like 70% off. And I was like, okay, well, some of this can definitely make its way into Christmas. But I had a bunch of stuff in my basket. That's my thing. Like, I'll go to Joann's, Michael's, wherever, put a bunch of stuff in my basket. And then as I walk around, I slowly remove things until there was like 5 things of ribbon that ended up costing me like $12. And my sister was like, what happened to that yarn? What happened to those flowers? And I was like, oh, I put them back. I haven't sold any Wreath through Etsy. I'm about to mark those way down because I'm out of room. I'm out of money. Not out of money, but I mean I'm out of money to spend on Wreaths that just hang in my hallway and get in my way. I mean, even if I just get back what I put into them with materials, I mean that's fine with me. I want to be able to make room for new stuff. So if you are looking for a Wreath, I mean by this time I've already done the clearing sale, but I'm sure there's still stuff yet left. I've already done clearing house over here. Yeah, that was my day. I started to get a headache when we went to Spirit Halloween. Y'all, let me tell you, I'm not spending money. I walked in there and I was like, I shouldn't go in here. I was like, I'm just gonna be aggravated. Like, it's just gonna upset me. Not that it upset me. I was just like, why is this mug $15? They had like a Nightmare Before Christmas mug, and I love Nightmare Before Christmas. It had like a like a spinny Jack Skellington head, and I was like, that is so cute. And then I looked at it and I was like, that is $15 for a mug. But it was very cute. Just a wee bit out of my price range. I guess it wasn't out of my price range. I guess I could spend $15 on a mug and still be able to pay my bills and my rent, but that mug would haunt me. Really? I mean, every one I pick up is going to be the wrong color. What time? I'm going to have to... It is 4:19. I'm going to have to stop filming videos around 4 o'clock because every time I do, my neighbor comes home. Business, please. My dog is very, like, understanding of when I don't feel well. He's outside earlier, barking, and I was like, I have a headache, and he just, like, stopped. And normally, y'all know he would be going crazy right now over the neighbor. No, I should have got pipe cleaners at Michael's. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. It's like the second, and I thought there would be some good stuff on Netflix, but I checked earlier when I literally walked in the door, ate half a pack of sushi, called my mom to let her know that I was home and alive, and like immediately got into bed. And I've been there since, but I thought there was like new stuff on Netflix today since it's the first Friday of the month, but I saw nothing. Bummer. But I'm sure I also didn't look very hard. But I know next week The Haunting of Bly Manor comes out, and that's all I care about. Since The Boys in the Band just came out. Thursday? No, what's today? Yeah, Thursday? Wednesday? I don't know when it was, but I enjoyed it. I was just like, I was like, why are these people even friends if they're all so terrible to each other? What am I melting? I'm melting something over here. Somebody asked me, I think it was Miss Sarah Clark, who is a constant commenter, very much appreciated, about the glue pan. It's over here. This is just a, oh my lighter is underneath the glue pan. Am I trying to blow up my entire house? Oh. It's just a small skillet. I don't know what you would cook in there. It's like perfect for grilled cheese, I guess. It's a small skillet, and I use AdTech glue. It's the same one they sell at Walmart, except I buy it on Amazon in a 5-pound box of glue sticks. It's not like pellets or anything. I think it's like $16. So every now and then I just grab a handful of glue sticks, cut them up into 3 or 4 pieces, and dump them in there. And that's all it is. And the reason I prefer the glue pan over the glue gun is because that glue gun temperature, it's either on or it's off. There's no... What am I even doing? I need this for later. There's no temperature adjustment, and with this I turn it all the way up to get it to... This is about the consistency of it all the way up. I mean, it can get a little bit looser than this, but I turn it all the way up until it's melted, and then I turn it back down to like medium, so the glue thickens up some, and as soon as I put it on something, it's dried. It's set. It's not really, you know, it's cooled. And with the glue, with my hot glue gun, I have to like put the hot glue on there, put it where I want it to go, and then hold it for a second. Which is not like I'm like, oh, I'm so impatient, I don't have time to hold something for a second. It's just, it saves me time. Alright, so I'm putting these orange and yellow in every other, well, in every outside one. I guess I probably have enough to cut. I would only need 6 more, but I think I'm just gonna stick to the outside. I mean, if you're doing anything where you need, like where you would like both hands free, a glue pot is a good way to go. And you can buy an actual glue pot that's made for glue, but they are like, I think they should, because I used to have one. Remember, I used to have that little one that was made for glue. It was, that one was like $10, but it was so small. It was like, what's the point of this being more convenient when it's so small? And then Miss Julie, another miss, she sent me money to buy the actual Surebonder glue pot, which is, you know, it's made by Surebonder, so it's for hot glue. But I had already ordered this one, and I think this one was, it was maybe $20, and it has been a game changer. So if you do things like this, if you do florals, I think it's a great tool to invest in. I think I talked about this in one of the other videos, but like if you're starting out with doing Wreath, like, let me tell you things you do need, or you should get right. If you're starting out doing Wreath, all you need is a pair of scissors. I can tell you that right now. What's nice to have, and in the order I would buy them, is a rotary cutter and a cutting mat, because you need those together. After that, I would probably buy the Easy Bow Maker. Because it gives you pretty consistent bows as long as you don't drop them every time you pick them up like I do. That's not the bow maker's fault. That is my petite baby hands that have no strength due to chronic illness and constant inflammation and all sorts of good stuff. So I would get the Easy Bow Maker. You might be tempted to get the Pro Bow. I think it's a definite preference thing, but if my window for opportunity was still open to return the Pro Bow, I would have already, and it is very rare for me to go through the trouble of returning something to Amazon just because I don't like it. It works. I don't like it. But it makes beautiful bows. After you have a bow maker, I would probably, next tool I would probably get would be the glue pot. Whether it's the actual glue pot, whether it is something, a skillet. You might look at garage sales or Goodwills. I knew buying mine brand new from Amazon would be cheaper than buying it at Goodwill because, as you guys know, my Goodwill is, I don't, you know how my Goodwill is. I'm not even going to attempt to explain it. But I see them a lot at garage sales. Things I think you definitely do not need unless you are selling and making, if you are making dozens of wreaths a week, like if you are making a wreath a day, more than a wreath a day, if this is your business that you are the sole breadwinner for your family, I do not think that you need a pick machine. I think it would be nice to have one. I see them used a lot where I don't think they need to be used. Like, I would never put a steel pick in a Deco mesh wreath because if you've ever felt those things, they are razor sharp. And everybody's like, oh, you just bend it back. No. I will just use more glue. There's definitely been times where I was like, man, I wish I had a pick with this, but if there's stuff that you actually want to pick, you can buy individual picks that are wired on that don't cost $200 for a giant metal machine. If you don't know what a pick machine is, it's basically a little metal pick that has these teeth on it. You put your flower stem, your ribbon tails, whatever in there. You pull a lever, the teeth in the little pick clamp around. And then you take it out and one end's real pointy so you can stick it into, like for grapevines, absolutely. For floral arrangements, I think it'd be really good to have if you were doing a lot of them. Like we had one when I worked with a professional florist, and in all the time I worked there, we used it once. So if a professional florist who is doing multiple weddings a weekend, multiple funerals during the week, is not using this thing, odds are it's probably a little bit overkill for your wreath business. Other things I don't think are super necessary, and maybe it's because I don't have the space. I don't think, well, I don't know. If I had the space, I'd probably have one. The wreath, the mesh holders. I've had, I always put my mesh over here, and I have enough room to cut it. I don't know. I mean, that's personal preference. I don't think that's something you need. I mean, it seems like it'd be cool to have, but definitely not something you need. What else? Anything that is going to measure ribbon for you. A specific thing that is sold to measure ribbon tails. There are several out there. I think having a single-use product, especially something that comes in 10 different sizes, when are you ever using an 8-inch ribbon tail? Like, what is that accomplishing? And what is the real difference between an 8-inch and a 9-inch? I saw somebody the other day said the 12 inches were too long for them, so they wanted to go to like 11.5 inches, and I was like, you're losing a 1/4 inch on each side of your ribbon. Like, how is that making any kind of difference? But to each their own. Again, maybe it's cool to have. I do not want a big stack of things when I can have this, which, this is a quilting ruler. This is my go-to ruler when I was cutting fabric because it's 12 inches, and when you fold up fabric, it's 36 inches long, you fold it in half, that's 18, you fold it in half again, that's 9. So this was enough to lay across fabric to cut it, even though I usually use my shape cutter, but I can wrap this way to make 12-inch tails And if for some odd reason I want 5-inch tails, I would wrap this way, but it would be 5 and 5, so it'd be 10, where this is 12 and 12 on both sides. Get that with a coupon at Joann's. It's less than the price of the entire, however, whatever the kit is. If you don't want to do that, use a piece of cardboard. Everybody's like, don't use cardboard. It bends. It does this. It's cardboard. If it bends, get another piece of cardboard. But again, to each their own. And if you get to a point where you are making a lot of wreaths and you have excess income coming in and you feel like, you know, well, it might be easier to just pick up this thing that's 9 inches because I need 9-inch tails for something, or I need to measure something that's 9 inches. Go for it. I just don't think they're super necessary. No offense to the people who make them. A lot of people use them, so maybe there's something I'm missing. But I have never been in a position where I was like, I wish my tails were a 1/4 inch longer on each side. I used to cut 8-inch tails because I was so worried about like using too much ribbon. And then I was like, well, cutting 8-inch tails and they're so short you can't even see them in the wreath. So what's the point? I'm wasting the ribbon either way. So now everything is 12. I did make the gnome wreath the other day where I wanted a slightly larger, longer ribbon, but my ribbon was also 3.5 inches wide. That one doesn't have a dovetail because I cut too many. I cut an extra. Is my headache going away? Maybe I was just feeling extra complaining and I had to get all that out. What do you guys think? Yeah, what else? What else? What else? I think investing in good pipe cleaners and good zip ties, that's something you should do. Dollar Tree sells both. Dollar Tree is not always the answer. And if you are a beginning quilt maker, I keep saying quilt maker, I just need to make another quilt and get it out of my system. Don't worry, that's never gonna happen. I made curtains yesterday, and that's probably why I feel like I'm dead today. Invest in, spend the extra money. Here's another thing: if you have a budget, I would probably spend my money first on, if you're doing Deco mesh, spend your money first on, it seems weird to say it, but spend your money first on ribbon. Because nice ribbon can cover up crappy mesh. Crappy ribbon over nice mesh just looks crappy. And I'm not saying like go buy $35 yard ribbon, but I mean, there's Dollar Tree ribbon, and isn't there? There's Dollar Tree ribbon in the bow. Just like be on the lookout, and you're better off buying nicer mesh from a place like Craft Outlet because the price is pretty much the same as if you bought it in a craft store, but the quality is like doubled. And the one thing that if you have extra money, you're like, what should I get with this extra money? Or, oh, I guess I could put like another $1 or $2 into this wreath. Get a sign. If you're gonna put a sign in it, spend the extra money on a sign. Because if you put a Dollar Tree sign into your wreath, they are not meant to hold up at all. And because Dollar Tree is so popular and so available, there is going to be a very good chance that 17 other people bought that exact same sign. And I'm officially out of Powerade. Powerade, sponsor me. You're literally the only thing keeping me alive right now. Yeah, like when I made my Dollar Tree Wreath, like, I made a point to not include signs because I didn't want to put Dollar Tree signs in the wreath. You could, I mean, I'm about to put a dollar sign in this wreath, but it's a Dollar General dollar sign. Right, I'm feeding, making sure that this pipe cleaner is actually going through the mesh, because if it doesn't, it's gonna sink down too much. You just have to get into like a very zen moment. Get it to go through. I don't know about this burgundy ribbon, huh? What do we think? It doesn't have to go through every layer of mesh, just get it through there so you have a base for the bow to sit on. Yeah, that was a bunch of unsolicited advice, but it's something I wish I had not had known, because I don't think I didn't buy anything like ridiculous except for the Pro Bow, but I was convinced. You know, watching people do those bows, they go, and maybe it's because I just haven't had the practice with it. I watched so many videos, because I'm gonna spend money on something, like I'm gonna know inside and out all about it. I thought it was gonna be so easy, and I got it, and I was like, this takes forever. I even had people in comments saying like, this takes forever, why are you doing this? And I was like, yep, you're right, it does. But it does make really nice bows. I think if I was ever, like I wanted to do it when I was doing my double door wreaths, because I wanted those to match, and when you use the Pro Bow, you are taking out the element of mistake. You know, because I can put something in the Easy Bow Maker not at the exact right size, and that's taken out of the equation when you're using the Pro Bow. Like if you're doing, I don't really ever do like big, giant, big, like fluffy floral bows. But if you're doing that, I think it would be a lot easier on the Pro Bow. But that's just me. You gotta try what you like. I would also find the rotary cutter you like, which for me is always going to be, I have an Alpha. I always go back to my Fiskars just because I can get the blades at Walmart. And I like I guess the ergonomics of it, like the way it feels in my hand versus this other. And I found a bunch of blades on clearance. It was like a pack of 5 for like $2, and I was like, okay, those are gonna last me forever. Especially once I stopped cutting fabric with them, they lasted a lot longer. And scissors. nice pair of scissors. Or until you can get a nice pair of scissors. Get the Betty Crocker scissors from Dollar Tree. They're $1. They will last you for a pretty long while before they start getting dull. And then you can retire them to something else. Like, I'm the kind of person who, like, I buy kitchen sponges, and they go from doing my dishes to cleaning my kitchen, and then either cleaning the bathroom or cleaning something outside. And after all that, after they've become too far gone to clean up stuff outside or in the bathroom, then they're done. So, like, with the Betty Crocker scissors, use them for your fabric stuff, retire them to the kitchen. The cuts, I mean, they're not gonna cut as well as they would brand new. And then they eventually go outside, where I use them to cut down all the stuff that just is growing wild around my house. I have a canna outside that is kind of underneath my carport. It's taller than I am. It's like growing into the carport. It got like battered during one of our fake hurricanes. And I need to go out there and just really clean it up. But I'm like, if I cut it down, it's gonna rebound before it gets cold. And last year, I don't think it got cold enough to kill my other one, so I don't think this one's gonna go away. But it really needs some, it needs some attention. I'm gluing these directly into this though. Because I don't have enough to go all the way around. Anybody recommend some good TV shows for me to watch? I love animated adult animation. Not that kind of adult animation. You know, like Bob's Burgers, things that are animated but more themed towards adults. I just finished watching Solar Opposites on Hulu. I kept saying it. I was like, why are they recommending this stupid alien show to me? And I watched it and I was like, this is funny. Super funny. And I'm watching Paradise PD on Netflix right now, which is literally the exact same show as Brickleberry. Brickleberry was a show about a bunch of park rangers, and it got canceled because it went off the rails. I thought it was funny, but at times I was like, oh, that's a bit much. And you know, if I'm saying that, something's wrong. It got canceled, and then Paradise PD came out on Netflix. It is the exact same show, except they're police officers. The characters don't even look any different. Like, they didn't even try to pretend like it wasn't the exact same show. Like, they replaced a fat girl with a fat guy. They replaced a talking bear with a talking dog. Why are you sitting like that? I thought we had to talk about this. How everybody was gonna start behaving more. It kind of blends in, huh? Where's my sign? This is a sign from Yellow Dollar is Dollar General. It has this wire in here, and I was like, oh man, it's nice that it has this like this tin wire, but then I felt it and it is just rubber coated. Like, it's not a real wire. So I'm gonna put this across my boat, and it's a little undersized, but I could not find I was looking for a sign today when I was at Joann's and Michael's and found nothing. So I was like, you know what? I've been holding on to this since, like, I don't know, forever. Especially since I started putting the fall stuff out at Dollar General. But yeah, TV show recommendations. I'm also watching The New Normal. Does anybody remember that? It was on in like 2012. It was a Ryan Murphy show. Oh, it was so good and it got canceled. I think that's when Ryan Murphy finally gave up. He was like, you know what, Netflix, FX, those are the only shows I'm gonna bother doing the only channels I'm gonna end up doing shows on. Everybody else keeps canceling everything. He was on like NBC too. Alright, this is not ideal because it's like sticking up. I would love to have another little point of attachment right there, but I don't have a little press thing like everybody else. I should probably get one. That's probably something you should get eventually. I'm just gonna leave this here for right now. And what else do I want in here? You could leave it like this. My mom would love it because there's nothing in it. Business. Alright, my dog was barking like a jerk. I seem to be out of the lighter color ones of these, but I kind of like, yeah, I don't mind that. I hope I don't go overboard on this wreath, because I'm like, the less stuff I use in this wreath, the less stuff I have to pack away. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. Maybe. Yep. So I don't know how I'm going to get this down. I either have to, I can't glue it. Maybe I'll see if I can find a little hole punch thing. Should have got that today at Michael's too. Instead of walking around and being like, this store has nothing. This store is a garbage store that has nothing. I was gonna talk to my sister my other sister on Saturday about, well, why do I need to talk to her? I can do it myself. I'm a grown-ass man. getting a piece of something that's like 4x8 and sticking it on top of this table with a couple of screws. I guess I could just go to Home Depot and get a piece cut, huh? Yeah, that's what I'll do. And I've got a couple. I think I'm just going to dot these around here because there's no floral in the center. Oh, that was satisfying. Let's see. Two bunches of these. I'm trying. I don't want to store more stuff. This is aggravating me a lot. I wonder if maybe I could just like nail a little hole through there. You know what, I have an eyelet setter somewhere which would probably work perfectly, but it's already attached to the wreath, so we'll see. I'll get it down by the time I take pictures. Wish Euphoria would come back on. I know it just ended, but I'm just like, that was such a good show. I'm ready for new TV. Not like television TV because I didn't watch that, but ready for new Netflix TV. Why are you hanging out? Get back underneath there. Okay, so this needs a little fluffing, and something is sticking out the back of here and stabbing me. I don't know what it is. These need to be all pulled out nicely. What can I do about this? What can I do about this? What can I do about this? I know that this is not going to hold. I mean, I know that. But maybe it'll hold it down until I can get me a little. It's not gonna hold it down. What am I doing? I have a wreath hanging in my hallway. There's a metal sign, and it was just like this. It had two things where I could attach to the top, and then I glued a pipe cleaner on the bottom, and before I could even take pictures of it, it just like snapped off. And I was like, okay. Which is probably exactly what this is gonna do, so let's try it out, and maybe we can be like, haha, I told you so together. I need Powerade, and all I have is Mountain Dew. Stick it to the sticker, because the sticker stuck on the sticker is stuck on the metal, the glue will stick to the sticker. And I'm asking a lot of you, little sticker, but I believe in you. Too tight, but maybe that worked. It's very hot right here. I'm kind of bummed this is my last fall project, but I'm super excited that I can take all the fall crap on this desk and throw it into a box. I think that actually worked. I mean, I'm sure as soon as I go to take pictures of it, it'll pop out and hit the ground and a possum will run off with it, but... Okay. So there's our finished wreath. It says thankful. That's on there. I don't know how long it's going to stay on there. I will definitely affix it better before it goes out. But yeah, let me give it a shake. Cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My head feels a little bit better, but I definitely just want to crawl back in bed, which I can do now because I finished something today. From start to finish, I finished this. Started this morning, finished it now. The dog knows that I am done and he wants to get up and go do something, so I will take him outside, get pictures, and then go lay down for a forever nap. Oh my god, can you imagine a forever nap? Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.